Welcome to Houston Baptist University's Psych 4326, The Psychology of Death and Dying. Reminder, these presentations are only intended to highlight some important or difficult points from the chapter. They are in no way comprehensive and do not include all the material students will be held responsible for on your exams. You are expected to completely and thoroughly engage with all of the required learning materials. Exams in this course may include questions taken from the textbook reading, videos, and PowerPoint presentations. This presentation covers some important topics from Chapter 12 in our textbook. Make sure you read all the chapter and take notes. There is much more material in the chapter than we are covering in this presentation. It always seems especially sad when a child dies. In the U.S., in 2014, approximately 12.7% of the population was between birth and 9 years of age. In that year, this group experienced 29,402 deaths, which is less than 1.1% of the 2.6 million deaths in the U.S. that year. 1.1% sounds like not many, but to the 29,402 families that lost a child, the loss is real and the sorrow is deep. If we break that down into how many died in infancy versus after infancy, we find that 23,215 died during the first year of life. The main causes were congenital malformations, or disorders related to short gestation and low birth weight, complications of pregnancy, sudden infant death syndrome, or SIDS, and accidents. After infancy, the number is smaller, and the causes are accidents, congenital malformations, malignant neoplasms, or cancer, and homicide assault. Accidents are the leading cause of death for all childhood after infancy, with auto accidents on the rise. There are varied theories of how children understand death. Maria Nagy suggested 3 major developmental stages. Children less than 5 years old do not recognize death as an irreversible fact. Between 5 and 9, death is often personified and thought of as a contingency. Here we can think of death being imagined as a separate person, the Grim Reaper, a ghost, angel of death. They understand the definitiveness of death, but due to a strong aversion to the idea of death, death is seen as a person or a reality that's outside and remote from them. By age 9, children see death as a process happening in us according to certain laws. They see death as final and universal, inevitable, and not avoidable. Spies and Brent identified 5 principal concepts involved in children's concepts of death. Universality involves the recognition of all living things must eventually die. To understand this, children must understand 3 things. Death is all-inclusive, inevitable, and unpredictable. Irreversibility. Once the body is dead, it can never be alive again, barring miraculous or magical events or explanations. 2. Non-functioning means that death involves the complete and final cessation of all life-defining capabilities or functional capacities. And causality, comprehending the events or conditions that really do or can bring about the death of a living thing. Non-corporeal continuation. Here, children deal with the question of what happens after death. It involves the continuation of some kind of life in a non-human body type. Many of the concerns of dying children are related to quality in living. Concerns for such children might include normalization. I'm not the only one. This is a part of my life. Learning to live with uncertainty may lead to vulnerability, overprotectiveness by adults, and transformation of priorities, values, and goals. These children have to learn to live with compromise and ongoing repercussions of their disease. They also try to overcome stigma in social contexts and have great spiritual needs. 3 central issues are likely to be prominent in the grief experiences of bereaved children. Did I cause it to happen? Is it going to happen to me? Now who's going to take care of me? These concerns may seem egocentric, yet considering the child's developmental stage, they are all appropriate. Children need information, reassurance, routine, involvement, and inclusion. They should be able to express their fears and anxieties to a good listener who will validate their feelings and help them with these big, uncomfortable feelings. Make sure you read Chapter 12 thoroughly and understand the terms found at the back of the chapter. There's so much more than we're covering in this chapter. I'll see you in Chapter 13.